Okay, now I'm back and I'm going to show you what I bought. The first video that I uploaded, and if you watched it, was telling about how I got a generator and a gravity fed water filtration unit. And anyway, I'm not a prepper, I'm just being prepared. There is a difference. Our ancestors were prepared all the time. They had food in the root cellar, and they canned their food. They were prepared. And if you really want to talk about preparations, apparently go talk to a local Mormon, because they know how to prepare. Okay, all right, let me see what I got here. This is stuff I got at Ollie's the other day. And oh, ouch, my wrists are horrible. And the other day, while I was out at Ollie's, I stopped up at Michael's to see if they had any Halloween paper. They had a bunch of Halloween stuff, but they didn't have any Halloween paper. So I'm just going to start with what I did get. It was $4.99, and I still had a gift card from last year's birthday, and that was over 6 months ago. Last year's birthday, Christmas, my husband always gets me gift cards to Michael's and Hobby Lobby, and he gets me 25 on my birthday. He'll give me 25 to Michael's, 25 to Hobby Lobby. 2 weeks later at Christmas, he gets me 25 to Michael's, 25 to Hobby Lobby, so I end up with $50 to each. I got the summer fair, and this was the one that I thought was going to be the prettiest. And of course, like the idiot I am, I always forget to cut it open. But it's not like you guys haven't seen it. There's a bunch of them. Like there's a candy one, and the candy one kind of reminded me of the candy thing Hobby Lobby had at Christmas. But I just thought this was pretty. Absolutely great for birthday cards. Especially summer birthdays. This is my 59-cent little thing from Harbor Freight. Okay, but it's like, they've got ice cream. It's got sparklies. These are good cut aparts. The balloons. Some of this is just really generic. There's the sunglasses with heart-shaped sunglasses. I like this, but to do what with? Who doesn't love a carousel? Looks like candy dots, and there's little tickets, and they got sparkle. Oh no, they do. Got a little sparkly stuff on them. Banner, confetti, more of the tickets, but there's no sparkle. There's balloons you could cut out the corner. More ice cream or popsicle. This is kind of weird. They look pixelated. I don't know if you can see that. They look kind of pixelated. My lighting's not really good today. And there's a whole mix of everything, cotton candy, and I just thought it was cute. Those look like the candy dots. There's some more cotton candy, popcorn, and oh, looks like a creamsicle. Oh, that reminds me, I need to go to Arby's and get one of those creamsicle milkshakes. Orange. It's either creamsicle or orange dreamsicle, one or the other, and it's the same thing. Anyway, I got that for $4.99 with a gift card. It was not like I spent money. My husband has always spent money. Okay, Ollie's. I love these things right here. The primary journal where the kids draw the picture and tell the story. And this was $1.49. Usually at Walmart, these things are like close to $3 a piece. Okay. I went ahead and got the Park Lane Pastels. 87 sheets. It was $1.99. Because this would really be good for, you wouldn't have to cut down your 8.5 by 11 or your 12 by 12 pastel sheets to do backgrounds or do die cutting. And then I said, okay, why not? $1.99. Color box. And it's just craft paper. Somebody, who was I watching? You know how you don't like to watch them, but then you end up watching them. They called this Walmart brand, and Colorbach is not Walmart brand, it's American Crafts. I said, No, no. But then I went ahead and did get the 12 by 12 pastel. Oh, pastel shimmer. Oh my gosh, it does have like a little pearlescent shimmer on there. All right. Also $1.99. And I found a 12 by 12 paper pad. And I like this one too for, it was $1.99, but it's double-sided. It's only 24 sheets, but it's double-sided. And who is it? American Crafts. And this one could be Kids Valentine's, I think. Kids Valentine's, or, you know, something just fun. You may have already seen this. It definitely just looks like a kid Valentine thing. And then this one I bought, and it was twofold. It was a little bit more expensive. It is Bo Bunny. It's called Garden Party. And of course, all of the sheets are the same. It was $2.99. I don't even know how many sheets are in here. Probably 25. But one side was green, like that. And I thought, okay, you know, it's green. It's real generic. I think it's supposed to look like, since it's Garden Party, I think it's supposed to look like maybe shrubbery or leaves on plants. It didn't to me. I said I could use this as green for anything, including Halloween or anything, any paper that requires a green background. What I really got it for was this, the chandeliers. And I said, that makes some really good backgrounds for some Halloween cards, you know, kind of thing. So anyway, that's what I got. All right, and then the other day, I was at Dollar Tree because I had to go out that way because my car was down to half a tank of gas, and I had to go to Walmart and get gas because I have my Walmart Plus membership. I got gasoline for $2.74 a gallon. I love these magnetic clips. They hold really heavy stuff on your refrigerator. So I had to get 4 more of those. And then I got some more of these flowers. I have these flowers. The dark ones. Of course, I have, I had gotten the pink ones before. And I was pretty sure I had dark ones. They're probably buried in here somewhere. Oh no, here they are. Here, I can find them. I got like 2 packages of pink ones before for Valentine's. And then I had 2 packages, and now I have 2 more packages of them. They're like, I don't know. Yeah, they're Halloween. They're Halloween. That's punched out there. Okay. And then I just went to, feed, water, and clean litter boxes. My daughter's on vacation at the beach, and I stopped at Dollar General. And out there's a Dollar General in town, but there's one also like 3.5 miles away from me. And so I just spread it around because sometimes out there they'll have different stuff. And these were $1 a piece, so it's cheaper than Dollar Tree. A lot of places are starting to become cheaper than Dollar Tree. My husband the other day said, I think I'm going to go to Dollar Tree and see if I can find some washcloths. And I said, well, you know, Dollar Tree, I said, I bought washcloths there before and I still use them. I said, but boy, did they come apart quick. I said, and then you've got a bunch of stuff on the sides you have to cut off or whatever. I said, I'm about ready to ditch some of the ones I got there. I said, why don't you try Walmart? He came back with a dozen washcloths for $4.99. Dollar Tree sells 2 of them for $1.25. I said, yeah, see, told you. Okay, this is the Sonic brand strawberry lemonade to put in my water, my newly filtered water. Watch the other video. And Canada Dry cranberry ginger ale. I said, why not? And I have some of this stuff. You can get it's the strawberry and the pineapple, and who has that? Fanta, I think, comes in a little thing like this. There's 6 of them in there for $1. I mean, I don't flavor every bit of water I drink anyway. And then I just had to. I cannot help it. I just bought one pack because they're $1 at Dollar General for 3 of them, and they're bigger, and they don't have as many pages, I don't think, but they're bigger than the ones you get at Dollar Tree, and the covers are more sturdy. And Dollar Tree sells them smaller, and they're $1.25. And these are $1. These are still $1 at Dollar General. So I'd go get some. I have a ton of them, but I said they're just $1. Anyway, okay. And then I said I've been having trouble with my yard. I've been having trouble with my yard guy. I'm kind of wondering, would anybody miss him if he just disappeared? The man cuts down my painted fern this year. He's done it twice. I saw him doing it once, and I was screaming at him. I said, "What the?" I didn't say hell. I said the other word. Are you doing? And he goes, he always says things to me. What? I said, you just cut down my ferns. Where? He's been cutting my yard for 4 years. This is his 4th year, and if I have anything to say about it, his last year. And there's a big clump of weeds that grow up on the, I don't know, like poke weeds. Anybody? Okay, country people, pokeweed. Do you know what a pokeweed is, right? Old timers used to call it poke weeds, but they're pokeweeds. And, you know, they get berries on them that you can't eat, but the birds can. Anyhow, they go all over my yard. I guess the birds carry them. They sit in my trees and poop out the seeds. And then I ended up with a whole damn yard full of them. I walked out and I went, anybody ever watch that movie, The Day of the Triffids? Now I'm talking old. I think they did remake it a couple decades ago. But anyway, it was like, oh my God. It grows up through my bleeding heart. I just had to take it out of my bleeding heart. And, but he wouldn't cut it down. And I said, why do you leave that there? He goes, what, that? And I said, yeah, that. Why aren't you cutting it down? You want me to cut it down? And I said, I didn't plant it there. It volunteered. Yes, I want you to cut it down. And he cut it down. The next week, he didn't cut it down. Not the next week, every 2 weeks. He didn't cut it down. I left him a note. I was gone when he came this week. Make sure that you cut down the clump of weeds on the property line. And I said, and all of the little pop-ups that in the yard that I talked to you about last time. He did all that, but he also cut down my painted fern again. I am so totally done. Anyway, I'm trying to find another guy. My neighbor across the street, he gave me the name of a guy, and I called and left a message. I'm sure the guy is just swamped, although my message should say that I'm trying to line somebody up new for next year. Anyway, I said, well, some of my yard does look ambiguous. Is that the word? It looks like something should be growing there, maybe, and maybe I did plant them. Well, this time I'm going to plant some stuff. These are hollyhock seeds. These are the 4 to 6 feet ones, and these are the 2 to 3 feet ones. So I'm going to try and plant these. Actually, I was thinking about planting them after the last mow, and then just leaving them in the ground and see what happens. Also, my neighbor across the street, they rent across the street, but she all of a sudden she had these beautiful flowers coming up, and they come out, and I yelled across the street to her one day, are those cosmos you got growing there? She goes, honestly, I don't know. I bought a package of wildflower seeds, and that's what came up. But she only had cosmos in this one area. And over in front of her house, she had marigolds and zinnias. Yeah, it's really pretty. And then today, I said, what's the vining thing? I thought maybe it was like a sweet potato vine. Vining thing. I think she has nasturtiums vining all over. Anyway, I got some cosmos and some zinnias, and I'm going to plant those. Also, I have some bulbs that are, couldn't tell you. I planted a little elephant ear bulb. You get one at Dollar Tree for $1 or $1.25. And I planted one, and I planted it in a pot, and it took it a while to grow, but it's like this high. and I just planted it like 3 weeks ago. And a friend of mine, I went to visit her, an older lady, older than me. She's 82. She has a banana plant, and I asked her where she got that banana plant. Great, big, beautiful. It comes up every year. And she said, I don't know where I got it. She said, just you can just dig that up and take some of it. I said, okay, when it cools down, I will. And I'm going to go get me one of her banana plants. I was going to plant the whole thing in flowers. She didn't have any weeds. She said she's got black-eyed Susans and all kinds of stuff in front of her. It's a very small area, but it's all full of flowers. And I said, you don't have any weeds? She said, where would they grow? It's all flowers. I'm thinking, maybe I can do that. It's not going to work. If I have jackass with doing my yard next year, he'll just cut them down. And he got them my hostas too. My hostas. Everybody knows what a damn hosta is. He'll leave a pokeweed standing, but cut down my painted ferns and my hostas. He's got to go. I don't think he wants to do my yard anymore, actually. And he just doesn't want to say I'm not doing it anymore. Anyway, that was it. I think I've yammered on long enough. I need to go check my stuff that's in the crock pot and go get comfy. These were my not my nice going out clothes, but nice enough to go out to clean the litter boxes and feed cats and stop at Dollar General in a very in a rural setting. I was probably overdressed. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. I will talk to you later. Bye. I gotta get the button.